Fabio Quartararo, the World Championship leader, on the front row with Franco Morbidelli and Jack Miller. Bagnaia, Nakagami, he's back in the middle of row 5 in 14th place. Row 3, Vinales, Aleix Espargaro and Rins. Mir, 17th on the grid in the middle of that 6th row ahead of his brother Marini. Petrucci, Alex Marquez, Lecuona are on row. The GP for the former Moto2 World Champion. He's replacing the injured Jorge Martin at Pramac Ducati.
The sun is shining, we have blue skies, there's a tiny bit of breeze just to take the heat away from you as playing in Doha and Portugal.
Well, a hat-trick, it'd be the perfect time to have a football celebration. He's done Mbappe, he's done...
Won't we, if he's able to do that. Let's pop down to pit lane quickly and get some thoughts pre-race from Pierre.
They've chosen what they have and what you expect to happen tyre-wise in the race.
Yes, the majority with a soft front, so the medium rear is the best compromise in between durability, so the grip is good, it's quite consistent. On the front, the medium one, it gives you more grip in maximum lean, when you are in the maximum lean, so all solution will be good for a nice race.
Thank you, Pierre.
Thank you very much, Job. Top 10. If he could do that, it would be a really, really, really good effort. Here he is on circuit just next to Valentino Rossi.
Yeah, they've shared a few podiums around this famous Jerez circuit. Marquez will make it 4, coming from 14th place on the grid. The onus on this man, the pressure on this man. He's the...
In the live heart rates, will it be the same way in the race? Bastianini's got a problem. At the start of this race, the yellow flag's waving, but now he's... Good start, that from Fabio Quartararo and Morbidelli as well. Quartararo gets swallowed. It's gone wrong.
He got second. Bagnaia also got through on Fabio Quartararo. So Quartararo from pole has been pushed back down
up to 5th ahead of Nakagami, and Mir is there as well. There is Maverick Vinales just ahead of Alex Rins.
Terrible start for Jerez through the first sector. 4 places down already.
Franco Morbidelli looking to try and challenge.
It's on the factory of Aprilia. Started on the middle of the 3rd row in 8th. He's already got himself up into 5th.
He's a bit busy there down
Pedrosa corner, Steve. He was having a bit of a tussle there with Marquez.
Espargaro 12th. Binder did not get off to a good for him.
Well, Franco Morbidelli and Fabio Quartararo did get the big red blur flying by them. It was in the form of Thrills 2021. Goes on and on and on. A nightmare start for him.
Yeah, he looked time, and for the first time in 2021, Jack Miller will lead across the line. Here we go into turn 1. Miller, so far, everything looking pretty rosy. Bradl's in there with Espargaro and Marc Marquez, then he's dropped back to 14th now.
Really poor first lap.
The 2 Suzuki's then
Quartararo's
gone down.
Quartararo's just taken Bagnaia, I think, for 3rd place.
Oh, twitch there from the Ducati of Pecco Bagnaia. They're side by side. They're closing up on Morbidelli as well.
But Bagnaia with that brute horsepower of the Ducati just blitzes on by down to the Pedrosa corner in turn.
Binder, just as he did in Jerez last year, has it all to do now as he rejoins the race right at the very back.
Isn't it? It drops off downhill, full fuel tank at this stage of the race. It's so easy to have that front end wash out from underneath you.
And he hold on to it because now we go on to the start finish straight and the Ducati power comes into play.
Yeah, Quartararo's done it's not really been close enough. You can just see there Quartararo just hugging that inside line as much as he dared just to make sure that was smart and savvy by Quartararo.
Rins has got through on Taka Nakagami, so the Suzuki's now...
There's a second between Vinales and Zarco, who after that really early interesting tussle with...
Jack Miller showed yesterday in FP4, certainly in the back end of it when he eventually got out, that he has got some speed. Rins.
Disaster, no other word for it. Pure and utter disaster for Alex Rins in terms of his championship. In Portimao 2 weeks ago, and he's an early faller here at turn 6.
Only on lap 3. That's fine, that'll do. 5th place for now. Not bad at all. You know he comes on strong at the end of races as the inside of Franco.
And Aleix Espargaro brilliantly as well with a similar move right behind those 2 Yamahas. He takes the podium early on here in Jerez. Brilliant by Aleix Espargaro.
Quartararo then now eyes Jack Miller for the...
Many times we keep saying it, Rins throwing away yet another golden chance with a crash. He did it in Assen, he did it in Austria last year, he did it in Portimao last time out.
Around turn, though, he's closing up on the tail here of Jack Miller. Will he be even anywhere near close enough to have a look into turn 6?
Really all over him. He's been able to pull away, and he's now really hunting down Maverick Vinales. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix, cents quicker than your race leaders.
Joan Mir might need to find a way through on Nakagami shortly because Jack Miller surely into turn 13, and if he gets out front, he could bolt.
Could be game over. Corner speed, he carried through 12. Absolutely brilliant. Superb. That was all set up through turns turns 11 and 12. Easy does it. Fabio Quartararo leads.
Here comes Miller though, with the power of the Ducati, but he's not.
Over very, very quickly, because when this happened here in both her Spanish Grand Prix and Andalusia Grand Prix last year, 7, 8, 9 bike lengths between himself and Jack Miller. More pain and no gain.
And then further back, you really see the start of that. But yeah,
this field team have got major problems here, and that's only going to get bigger now. Mir's wide, well wide. More drama at turn 6 for the factories. Speaking of Alex Rins, he's last. He's just set the fastest lap of the race, 38.114. We saw one of those aero wings,
isn't it,
Steve? It's now here, sectors 3 and 4, where the Yamaha just comes into its own. It'll stretch its legs. Near as strong as the Yamaha in this 4th sector, where it's fast, high-speed corners, the edge grip and the corner speed of the
landscape's changing out front.
And that's not like Mir, is it, Steve? Normally he's very patient. He picks his moments very. You're right. You could see Quartararo moving away at the front.
A 37.7 is an outright lap record day as well,
and he's doing exactly what we thought he would do and what he wanted to do. Get to the front early on.
Miller, Morbidelli and Aleix Espargaro on the Aprilia at the moment. That would be a best ever result for Aprilia. Further down the order, Pol Espargaro is in 10th ahead of Bradl and Marquez. The leading KTM is 7. Got to be careful with the exceeding track limits.
Jack Miller at the moment just has not got the speed and the pace of Quartararo, and he perhaps knows at the back of his mind there's nothing he will have for Fabio Quartararo.
Well, in the past, far more mature, he was wise. He took what he got. So you'd think that after the start that Miller's
so. Everybody else was low to mid 138s. Quartararo, it's another pressure that he's under. He said he's in the trenches. Well, he's digging himself out of it big time right now. He's responded with a third.
Chases a top 10, just a couple of places behind these guys. Bastianini is coming through. He's up into 13th. He's just gone for Spargaro then in 10th.
Yeah, Rossi 17th, but that's only because the likes of Rins and Binder are going for Valentino Rossi. He's 8 tenths at the moment behind Iker Lecuona, who's had his woes and struggles on the front of his case.
Miller's not got a huge issue through the first 3 sectors. It is definitely the last sector where claws stuck into Quartararo. He's not letting him quite out of his sight here. He's really pushing that front end.
Zarco is about to start attacking Maverick Vinales. He's got on him, getting by him will be a complete...
We're on board with, that's Aleix Espargaro. Now Aleix Espargaro will be bargaining that maybe the...
Quartararo and Miller exchange high 137s yet again. Franco Morbidelli's digging 3 men.
On board still there with Pecco Bagnaia, just behind these guys. Way through races, started to come into his own, so he might well feature in the latter stages of this one as well.
Yeah, and he's the lead.
Breaking into turn 6, Bagnaia trying to find a way through on the Aprilia.
There's nothing wrong with that. RSGP on a dime at the moment. Pinpoint accuracy going into turn 6 from a lip up.
Well, the gap between Quartararo and Miller at the front is still 7 tenths, but Miller is having to fight for 10th place.
Yeah, 10th and 11th for Repsol Honda, not what we expected to see for Marquez. 9 months out of the saddle for him, just working his way back up to confidence. And
7.70, and the lead is over a second now as they head into turn 1, or just under a second, to Fabio Quartararo and run his own race. He's not catching Fabio at this rate.
Comfortably clear and more half seconds behind him. So it's quite a lonely second right now for Jack Miller, but it would be a massive...
He's using the speed of his Ducati to get alongside Aleix Espargaro, and that will be so frustrating for the Aprilia.
Nothing that Espargaro could do about that was that as long as Bagnaia gets that rear tyre hooked up coming through Ducati breaker, certainly the latest Ducati breaker, he's taken over that mantle from Andrea Dovizioso in 2020.
Here is Alex Rins then. Just put in his personal best lap of the race again.
Yeah, you can see that factory Suzuki, and that will be making this motorcycle behave not as it normally would do.
This theme going on here with Aleix Espargaro in 2021. They've written brilliantly as the Spanish distance lull, where he loses a couple of places and then he comes on strong again. The same happened in...
That's for 8th place. So Zarco recovering from a very poor start. He was on the 2nd row in 6th first corner, but he's finally found a way through on Vinales.
I think we've had a faller, Enea Bastian.
That's brought an abrupt end to his very impressive start to his rookie season in MotoGP. Turn 2, so easily done.
Bastianini was running well as well. He was 12th place. He was only 3 tenths behind Marc Marquez, but crash.
He has rejoined the race, as did Alex Rins, as did Brad Binder as well. Big trouble looming here, Steve, for Franco Morbidelli on this lap alone in the first two sectors.
Finish straight we go. Quartararo crosses the line, a 38 flat. Miller 1.3 behind. Then it's Morbidelli. If Ducati were able to come out of today with two riders on the podium,
he's found a way back through on the Frenchman.
Well, he's got the pace, Matt, we already know, to run at the front, Maverick Vinales.
2 or 3 laps in a row now, he's set PB laps, a 38.41. He's really paying, though, for that mistake. How
will that fare in the closing stages of this race in Jerez? This is Luca Marini at the moment.
Oh, well, wide. He wasn't going to make that corner in a million years, was he? Rear grip has been the return. So you've got to feel like they're running out of ideas and potential solutions to stop the wheel spin. He gets on that factory Yamaha
incredibly well. Franco Morbidelli and Pecco Bagnaia, both former Moto2 winners, of course, and world champion to the start-finish straight. Bagnaia will get an opportunity to close up on that A-spec Yamaha. Brilliant performance by the Australian.
Yeah, he's just keeping that pressure on Fabio Quartararo, just trying to hope it might just pressurise Quartararo into some kind of mistake. In the past, though, when Fabio Quartararo, he's normally bulletproof, rock solid, does not make a mistake.
Edge close enough to the number 21. This is the battle for third place, remember.
Place for Pecco Bagnaia. He's got a long way to go. A lot of time to find his way through. 8.4, Steve. That's brilliant speed. That's only 3 or 4 tenths slower than the top 2 men in the race at the moment. Brilliant.
Around these fast right-handers here at Jerez. Spectacular speed through turns 11 and now front still 1.2. Jack Miller 1.4, sorry, through the final sector. We'll keep track on
that Bagnaia's got, and it's quite a big one, is that Morbidelli was brilliant. Has been all weekend through that fourth, stronger all weekend than Morbidelli in that fourth split.
Both Vinales and Mir and Vinales to the low 138s. As we get close to halfway distance here in the Spanish Grand Prix.
With the threat being posed by Taka Nakagami, Brad Binder's dreadful day just gets even worse. Last year, where he had a spectacular high side, 2 falls then today for Brad Binder. Bastianini's entered the...
Yeah, he's going to be gutted about that, Brad Binder. He was full of beans on Friday, really fancied his chances.
Well, let's Heyman sedate the one he had there last year, because that was a monster, big high side.
He went straight on, didn't he, into turn 5 in the first race,
yeah, and then in the second one he'd already hit Oliveira, and then high side. Everything's all A-OK. He's on his feet, so no obvious damage, but after a big crash yesterday, that's going to be marked down as a very disappointing weekend.
Bagnaia's lapping a tenth a lap slower than Quartararo, but the problem is at the moment Quartararo is fully engaged. Jorge Lorenzo put wrong, he's not making a mistake.
And neither is this man, Franco Morbidelli. Is he about to just get picked off on that 2-year-old aging-wise as RM1? And he's still able to keep Pecco Bagnaia at bay.
Just in the background there, Aleix Espargaro was just a touch quick. That's 3 races. Nakagami's right tucked up behind him as well. At the moment, I'm sure that Gigi Dall'Igna... What's happened here at the front? Has Quartararo made a mistake? He must have done. Quartararo's had a moment.
Tenths, yeah,
he's lost
Morbidelli.
What's happened here?
Has that given Bagnaia the chance? I think it has.
Something's gone wrong here for Quartararo. He's lost another 3 tenths in the first sector. There's something horrendously wrong for Fabio Quartararo.
What's happened then to Fabio Quartararo? Morbidelli made that small mistake into turn. They lost all of his exit speed, and that allowed Bagnaia to come on through.
Confusing.
As he was cruelly denied and made a MotoGP podium.
Well, it would be cruel again if it was 1.6 at the end of the last lap. It's now, well, Jack Miller here could be on the brink.
What did happen on that previous lap to Fabio Quartararo to see a comfortable 1.5 second up?
Bizarre, and all of a sudden on that final sector Quartararo able to control things again. Miller here is going to challenge for the lead. As they come across the line, he's going up alongside Fabio Quartararo, and he's
trying to conserve tyres. I mean,
something's wrong.
You don't just roll out of a 1.5 second lead, do you, to save tyres? It doesn't happen.
There'll be some nervous faces over in the Monster Energy Yamaha garage.
A major issue. MotoGP Grand Prix. Ducati haven't won here in 15 years, since 2006.
Ducati, of course, either. And after everything that's happened in the last few weeks, there would be on here. Simon, have you got any ideas as to what on earth has just happened?
Sorry, Steve, I really don't. It's not famous for being strong here. The Yamaha is. How good is Jack riding it?
Couldn't agree more. Man's shoulders.
Look at the Ducati guys. They are so nervous. Lynn Jarvis is...
Bagnaia about half a second clear already. Now the gap between Miller and Quartararo. Quartararo against another mid-one.
With the Yamaha of Fabio Quartararo. I mean, it can't be tyres. They can't just fall off a cliff.
Cook the tyres.
Yeah, has he overcooked the tyre? Who
don't
knows?
know. Oh, and he's wide there as well.
It's not the first time he's done that. I mean, it just looks pedestrian through turn 6 there. Pedestrian.
Yeah, there's a big... Having a look just to see where everybody else is. He knows that something's going wrong here.
One here since 2006. Could be on for a 1-2.
Guys, if I had to guess, more on entry more than exit.
He's going to have major problems hanging on to a podium thanks to that, to cling on to second place. We thought he was going to be a dominant runaway leader. How quickly the picture has...
Quartararo, wouldn't it, over just half a lap or something? Let's see whether or not he's losing power somewhere, or if he's got the...
There's another mid-39.4. On that last lap, he was 1.1 seconds slower than Jack.
Can't even believe how quick he is. Look, here he goes.
Fabio Quartararo is not racing at this point.
No, he's about to come past as well. There's not going to be a podium here for Fabio Quartararo, which is cruel luck.
Quite incredible. Fabio Quartararo did allude to a little bit on Friday, Steve, about being caught out, isn't it?
I mean, what a moment this is going to be for Jack Miller on the other side of the coin, because down in the dumps, but he said he was going to dig deep. He's dug deep before, and there we see straight through for Morbidelli.
Oh, was it Aragon? Yeah, that they overheated the front tyre. Basically, not... and then they lose grip, and I think that might be the problem here.
He's not going to be in the top 10 thanks to salvaging a top 10 here. Aleix Espargaro will be the next man to pick him off. Taka Nakagami's right to that,
but there's some guys coming here. Nakagami and Mir are flying.
Talk about rolling roadblocks. Fabio,
you have to feel for him, don't you?
Nakagami, look at that, attacking Aleix Espargaro through turn 4 and trying to around the outside Lorenzo style into turn 5, and he goes straight forward up the inside of Fabio Quartararo.
Oh, he's a bit wide and deep there with Nakagami, and Mir has picked off Aleix Espargaro as well. He was caught now. He can see he's got the speed there, close there.
Quartararo is not only going to lose this race, which Grand Prix and the early championship chase has changed altogether. Well, unbelievable.
Matt sometimes does not quite go.
This one will really hurt Fabio Quartararo. It will sting.
So well out there. Well, so well.
About 10 minutes ago, I would have lost my house because I'd have put my mortgage on Fabio. Garlis does pick him off. Didn't have to work hard for it. Oh, look over the shoulder from Quartararo. Gets a face full.
Jack Miller has got to do everything he can by the way out front to hold on, Matt, because Nakagami's lapping half a second.
Through Quartararo going into turn 5. This is really humbling. It's a tough one.
Well, he won't believe it, will he?
Well,
Fabio Quartararo.
I mean, at the moment, the guy is doing... I won't be surprised very quickly if he's not in the 41s.
For Fabio Quartararo, you really do. It's unfair. It is unfair. We'll find out and pick this. There's something monumental going on at the front, because Morbidelli's now closing back up on Bagnaia. But I've got to be honest, I'm really hoping Jack can hold on to this.
Yeah, could not agree more. Season, a couple of ninth places, very underwhelming in the Qatar doubleheader, an early crash out of the top 6, that more than Jack Miller, and today it could be the day where he takes that first dry race victory as well.
This is how it looks at the moment. I mean, that's going to go.
What do we say? Quartararo will be in the 41s very quickly. Was nearly 3 seconds slower than your race leader Jack Miller. 3 seconds.
This race, 5 laps to go. Miller leads, 1.7 clear of Bagnaia, his teammate Ducati on for an
We're in absolute free fall. He'll need a parachute to stop himself dropping back to the pack soon. It's been at the moment. He's going to Le Mans level, 66 points. Way through on Pecco Bagnaia, but Quartararo is not going to be able to defend positions from Pol Espargaro. That advantage of 1.8 seconds over Bagnaia. 4 to go for the Australian.
And still, pair of them. Jack Miller here, the 26-year-old from Townsville. Just such an emotional victory. And the best stories of all in sport are when someone...
What did we say yesterday when he got on the front row? You cannot keep a good man down for too long. He gets 2016 when he was part of the Mark VDS Honda project, was his only solitary at the Dutch TT.
Well, if you cast your minds back to the loops down there, this is something very special for Ducati at a circuit they have notoriously. He missed half of FP4 yesterday, a crucial session to MotoGP riders, but he made up.
Position progression, look away now if you're a Yamaha and a Fabio Quartararo fan. Comfortably inside the top 3 until about lap 17 or 18.
It's looking
not even
like
the top 10.
It's looking like he's going to pick. Difficult to see anything of interest information-wise on the front and the rear tyres there. Now at the front of this one, the gap has come down and there's still 3 laps left. Does Pecco Bagnaia smell for his teammate Jack Miller?
This would be a late body blow being delivered by Bagnaia, wouldn't it? Nakagami's run is awful Sunday in Spain just gets worse and worse and worse at the moment. Little, who's about to fly by the Frenchman as well.
This is going to
nowhere near. Like we say, Fabio Quartararo has not been racing in this Spanish Grand Prix for
into a point or two. And as we cross the line with 2 laps to go, Miller's got a second.
I know somebody who's going to be very, very nervous and very excited watching this Grand Prix back at home. It's his right now.
Well, just imagine. I mean, I don't know what time it is over in Oz at this moment in time, but guys, I'm probably through the roof.
Peter and Sonia, fire at the barbecue. Get the sun on fire here in Spain.
It's not over though. The gap's now under a second. Pecco Bagnaia, remember, also nervous last lap.
It should be a rider of Jack's talent and his experience. It should be a Bagnaia.
What a tale this would be for Jack Miller.
Crikey, when was the last time Ducati had a one?
Out to 1.2 in the last sector as Jack Miller, and as we rounds turn 13, he's got 4. Jack Miller taking this fantastic victory. What a moment this would be.
Well, he's called through. They're all so nervous down in that side of the factory Ducati garage. Jack Miller about, what, 4?
Guy, to take victories, you have to when you're a factory rider. It's been a long, long wait since Assen. Twilling. He looks so calm. I can't believe how calm he looks. But it's just half a lap left now for Miller.
Palms down under right now in Australia.
I've got to be honest, Matt.
Deep into the night there on Sunday evening.
Oh, means to him.
Miller into the famous Jerez amphitheatre for the final time on the last lap. And the moment of his Grand Prix career, he's on course to become Australia's latest motor and victory. Forget about Bagnaia's live heart rate. What about Jack Miller's? What about the Miller family back in Australia? Here in Spain, Jack Miller.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! He's done it! Miller wins in Lunium, in Australia as well. Get the national anthem ready and get the beers out. What a day! Mir and Alicia Spargaro 6th, Vinales 7th, Marc Marquez a great top 10.
And what on earth happened to Fabio Quartararo? He finished 13th. We'll digest that one later. Take nothing away though from the brilliant.
A more popular rider in the paddock. You'll see everybody pulling out of their garages to congratulate this Matt. I thought that Jack might have something for a top 5 here today. Yesterday,
question: what on earth happened to Fabio Quartararo? Or more importantly, what happened to the package underneath him? Race win. He's lost the World Championship lead to boot as well. 2 points now behind the man who leads for the factory Ducati team. Their first win here in 15 years.
There you go. Look at this. That's great to see.
Yeah.